Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 0.78% to 38,300. Ethereum down 0.75% to 2792. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I very much appreciate you being here. As we've just done, we've just looked through the market just to get a quick understanding of what's going up and what's going down. The two standouts seem to be APE up 11.16% and ENS up 32.51%. There are of course other cryptos that are up varying degrees. The entertainment section looks really interesting. We can see some great attention being pushed into here. Possibly this will translate through to Theta and T-Fuel and GMT as well, and audio. Let's have a quick look through the news. Breaking: Bitcoin-backed mortgage to allow home purchasing without a credit score. This is really quite amazing. If you think about the finance industry, it's all about collateral, having something that they can foreclose on. When you think about credit scores, that's realistically tied into your ability to repay. Credit scores are going out the window thanks to crypto. Panama is poised to approve the use of Bitcoin and 8 other cryptos without limitation. Panama is seeking to become the hub of innovation and technology in Latin America, and the legislation it's passing will help create jobs and financial inclusion as well. So what are those cryptos? They're Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, XDC Network, Elrond, Stellar, IOTA, and Algorand. Bitcoin and gold have been combined into a single ETP and launched in Europe. That's through Swiss ETP provider 21 Shares and UK wealth managers Bytree Asset Management. It's a really fascinating concept to bring the two together. Well done. FCA official says regulators need a more balanced approach towards the crypto markets. What is the FCA? That's the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, and it's the UK's foremost regulator for financial services, and it's kind of like the SEC. What we can see is a bit of a turf war between the FCA and Her Majesty's Royal Treasury, and the Royal Treasury has declared intentions to make the UK a crypto hub, and Treasury has declared its interest by accepting stablecoin payments, even launching an NFT collection. Very forward thinking. But crypto firms are struggling to be registered with the FCA. Just sounds like the SEC. And we've seen time and time again in the UK a very hostile environment for crypto. But of course, it can't be stopped. And something critical here, the UK is known to be a financial hub in Europe and one of the leaders in fintech, but it's going to lose the crown. Now, why do I say that? Because what we have is a number of countries, actually like Dubai, being very, very crypto friendly, like Panama, being very, very crypto friendly. They're going to take the financial centers out of London and New York and put them into Dubai and Panama. Such a thing would be unthought of previously, but it's digital currency. It can move all around the world. It doesn't need people in those places. It just needs the legal setup. And so many developed countries are losing the plot when it comes to crypto. This particular article is about Singapore. Singapore has been very, very hostile towards crypto, and it's just been like the UK, also like the US, but the US is starting to come around, which is fantastic. The US doesn't want to lose their lead in the global financial marketplace. And what we see here, Three Arrows Capital is moving its headquarters to Dubai as Singapore continues to crack down on crypto. What a loss to Singapore. And what a loss to the UK, what a loss to the US. There are other countries with open arms, and people just can go there. It's not a problem to move a digital business anywhere they want. It's all servers, ones and zeros. In other key news, next Wednesday, the Fed is expected to deliver a 50 basis points rate hike on Wednesday, which would be the first such move since 2000, and confirm plans to begin shrinking its $9 trillion asset portfolio by $95 billion a month in June. This is all about curbing inflation, which is at a 40-year high at the moment. One thing to bear in mind, there's still strong hiring momentum inside the economy, and unemployment is seen to be falling to 3.5%, which matches the pre-pandemic rate. And the ISM PMI is expecting manufacturing activity to pick up as well. So what we can actually see on the chart is the M1, M2 money stock is still increasing. The Fed balance sheet is in the process of rolling over, but it hasn't done so yet. And we can see the 10-year and the 5-year break-even inflation rates are still elevated, but coming down a little bit with the Nasdaq. In other news, Germany gets crypto-friendly tax rules for staking and lending. And again, we see more headlines on Dubai businesses embracing crypto as the future of payments. This is a really good article. According to blockchain data platform Chainalysis, the UAE is estimated to be the third largest crypto market in the Middle East after Turkey and Lebanon. And transacted value on cryptos was $26 billion between July 2020 and June 2021. And you can see that the UAE is attracting different companies from Singapore and Hong Kong. It won't be long for them to attract other companies from New York and around the world. In fact, cryptocurrency exchange Bybit announced its plans to move its headquarters from Singapore to Dubai. Global FTX and Binance receive licenses to operate in this city, and Crypto.com has revealed its intention to set up its regional office in the city. This just gives you a bit of an idea. If people in the government actually don't embrace crypto, there are plenty of governments that will. The article states, like all businesses started using the internet 20 years ago, they will start using crypto now. It's inevitable. Crypto is here to stay. But what are some of the use cases in the UAE? The first coffee and pastry shop will go down in history as the first cafe in Dubai to accept cryptocurrency from its customers. And the Citizen School, an educational institution situated in the plush Al Satwa locality, come September, it will actually accept payments for tuition fees in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the Yalla market actually will deliver groceries in 15 minutes. They accept USDC and USDT, so USD coin and Tether. And they also have plans for paying salaries via digital assets in the future. When you look at a market like this, with news like this is all about adoption. This is signal, not noise. Noise is fluff. It's all that marketing stuff that people go on with. But when you see actual adoption occurring, you see different countries taking over and laws being passed, that is signal. We can expect in time for this to turn around, and it may happen much more quickly than a lot of people think. Let's have a look at what's happening to Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is currently trading at 37,750. And we've seen a pretty big spike down just recently. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TG34. There's an enormous amount of bearish sentiment in the market, and we must always distinguish between retail signals and smart money signals. The two couldn't be more polar opposite. Having a look at the longs and the shorts can give us some kind of indication. We can see recently that the shorts have been coming up, definitely, but the longs have been coming up much more. So what's caused this sell-off are liquidations in longs. And we can see that that's absolutely the case. In the past 1 hour, around 98% of liquidations have been long liquidations, but the longs aren't stopping, they're keeping on going. And let's change this to the last 4 hours. Still about 97. Last 12, 94. Last 24, 88. So we can see that the longs have primarily been liquidated, causing this downward price momentum. And 389.77 million in liquidations has occurred across 141,268 positions, which is quite a lot, especially across the weekend. And what we can see, predominantly longs have been liquidated, and that's growing. But the longs are not having any of it. They're coming into the market. One thing that the crypto market is absolutely famous for is its volatility, and the volatility caused by longs entering and shorts entering and getting taken out as well drives these massive waves up and massive waves down. I'd like you to look at this chart. This is a chart of Bitcoin going back quite a few months. What do you see here? Bitcoin is coming down and down and down. Around this point, everybody said it's all over and it's going to go to $10,000. It was about $30,000 then. What actually happened? What did we see? Very interesting behavior. And what does this mean? Why didn't it just collapse down? Because what we see often is retail influencers just jumping on the fear bandwagon and trying to terrify their followers. When you see prices come down like this, a lot of people get really, really angry because they're not sure how to trade the crypto market. Crypto is inherently volatile. It's the most volatile market on the planet. And we actually want to get on the right side of the percentage. And getting on that right side requires you to BORSOG, and BORSOG is not an easy thing to do. You can see crypto goes up and down all the time. And what have we seen here? Now let's go to the current price action. It's retraced a lot, absolutely. But what do we actually see here? We can see that we're still above this low. That low of around 29,500, we're still way above it. And what about this technical structure? Does this technical structure say to us, it's all over? Well, the institutions would like you to think so, absolutely. And they would have loved you to think so right here as well. They would have loved you to say, oh no, there is no chance on earth that this is going to come up even to here. But yet, where did it come up to? It exceeded this peak. It made a higher high. Just bear this in mind. When you're looking at the crypto space, understand that long-term, crypto is here to stay. It's a fantastic thing, and you can see the adoption that's occurring all around the world. But what is crypto? It's a really tiny market in comparison to the stock market and the bond market globally. And it's the next evolution of the internet, Web 3.0, where you can read, write on the internet just like you can do now in Web 2.0, but you can actually own the protocols. It's like owning TCP/IP or HTTPS, so to speak. And Web 3 is the internet of money or the internet of value, and it's got decades and decades to play out. It's just at the start of its adoption cycle, and we can see that the people inside the UAE's government are really clever. Unlike what we see in many other countries, they're embracing it. Why are they embracing it? Because they know innovation needs to be embraced, just like the automobile took out the horse and buggy. You're absolutely in the right market at the right time in the right place, and we have decades and decades to play this out. As professionals, we always make in advance probabilistic choices. We know what we're going to do if price goes in our favor, goes against us, or just goes flatline. This is really important. So many people are looking for certainty. There is no certainty inside any financial market. There are only probabilities and rules. The rules and the probabilities will guide you into profitability. So what are those rules? They're discussed inside the masterclass. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention, and that's measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. A lot of projects will promise you the moon and the stars. Price will tell you if that project is below ground or above ground, or in the sky, or in the heavens, or somewhere else. But price always tells you the reality, and that's what we track. Rule 219 is really important on days like today. Be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is really, really important. You need to look at what your portfolio is, and if you see that it's all below the waterline, that's okay. This is what crypto does. And a lot of people say, no, Ken, it's not okay. I don't want any losses. And of course we don't want any losses. Something here could assist you. There are 4 zones that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain meaning in life as well. Zone 1 is the panic zone. Zone 2, the conflict, blame zone. And these are founded on certainty, which creates terror. People buy on green and they sell on red in these particular zones. Zone 3 and Zone 4 are based on probability and rules. In Zone 1 and 2, people follow rules that cause them to lose money. There's emotional roundabouts and roller coasters that people go through inside Zone 1 and Zone 2. If you're being governed by your emotion, that is a normal thing when you enter the market. And people may have entered and been in the market for years. It just takes time to get to Zone 3 and Zone 4. In Zone 3, we go stone cold. We go unemotional. We just look at the trade and we actually enter at a loss. We buy on red, BOR, sell on green, SOG, BORSOG. And this is really important because we don't get into any conflict, any jealousy. We don't care at all about what other people are getting on their returns. We're not interested in fighting other people. That just takes away from our focus. We are here to succeed, and we're also here to have a really, really good life, a meaningful life. And you can't have that if you're in conflict or competition with other people. Anytime we get into a scarcity mindset where we feel that we must win by other people losing, or we've got to get ahead of everybody else to win, that is scarcity. Scarcity will cause you to lose money, but it will cause you to lose much more than money. It'll cause you to lose friendship and love and all sorts of other things. Also, in Zone 3, it's not necessarily a win-win situation. There's a real big difference between rich thinking, which is very showy, and when we look at wealthy thinking, this is all about cooperation, not competition. Competition can exist in Zone 1, 2, and 3. And I know a lot of people say it's not a bad thing because the world is based on scarcity. It's not based on abundance. It's based on conflict. You only have to look into the headlines. Who's fighting who now? Who's going to war with who now? For thousands of years, people have wanted to move past scarcity, past wars, past conflict. But if we create a scarcity mindset, we're just going to recreate those things. That's why I always talk about Zone 4 and the win-win mentality, the wealthy thinking. It's based on abundance and just doing the best that you can, not looking external, but just looking internal. If other people are succeeding and you're not, just wish them well. There is no scarcity in this world. To prove that, just have a walk through any forest. Look at what nature does. That power of nature is inside you too. You can have anything you want. You don't have to compete with other people. You just have to be yourself. Unfortunately, this world is not one that promotes you being you. It actually wants you to conform. It wants you to conform to the concept, and it is a concept that is scarcity is all around. That's just not true. Abundance is all around. And that's why so few people actually succeed in life, because they're going from a position of scarcity. Even when they make it, they feel that they're going to lose it all. Thinking from an abundance perspective is really different. Abundance is all about your contribution back into the world. It's about love and kindness. And a lot of people say, Ken, I'm broke. I can't be kind. I can't be loving. I'm just trying to pay the bills. If you are kind and loving, you'll easily pay the bills, but it won't happen overnight. It's a whole attitude change into real wealth and positive excellence. It transforms lives and absolutely transforms relationships, bank accounts, meaning, everything else. The reason that we need to focus on the psychological side of the crypto market is it's because it's so psychological. These lines represent the hopes and dreams, terrors and fears of people. When people look at these lines, they see price action. I don't. I see people getting happy, getting sad, getting really happy, getting really sad. I see a whole lot of things, but it's all tied to the emotional state of people. And this is exactly the same in the stock market. But the thing to understand, because people are habitual by nature, you can read these emotional patterns. That's why I say every crypto has a personality, because of the personalities of the people that actually invest in those cryptos. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So there is, in my mind, no distinction at all between an investor and a trader. They both do the same thing. So what are we seeing here? Bitcoin is currently under this resistance. It stayed in B. A lot of people in the community said it was going to stay in B. Let's do another one of those polls. Where do you think it's going from here? Do you think it will go to E, up to A, C, or D? Please let me know in the comments. It's always really great to actually talk about these issues, and we have one of the most kind and loving communities. Our community members are beloved, all of them. They're just amazing people, and I very much appreciate you all. When you see Bitcoin coming down like this, the natural assumption is nobody can make money in this market. That's because of Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. But what we know is a handful of alts does love to escape Bitcoin's gravity, but it can't escape it long term. When people talk about correlation, they can talk about mathematical correlation or directional correlation. When I talk about correlation, I talk about directional correlation. This is Bitcoin, and this is Ape. And Ape has been having a fun time recently. We can see when Bitcoin comes up, what does Ape do? And when Bitcoin comes down, what does Ape do? Here we had a bit of a divergence, but when Bitcoin came down, what did Ape do? When it came up, what did Ape do? When it came down, what did Ape do? When it came up, what did Ape do? When it came down, what did Ape do? When it came up, what did Ape do? And when it came down, what did Ape do? You can see directional correlation is in nature directional. It's saying, is Bitcoin going up? Therefore, this alt will align with that gravity. It's called directional correlation for a reason and gravity for another reason, because this gravitational pull is still affecting things that look to be breaking out and from the market. And we always want to identify those. They can be really, really good opportunities. Don't forget, we're always looking for investor attention. Now, what is this particular thing about? A beloved community member sent in a trade on Ape, and you can see this was just recently. First of all, let's look at the buy. The buy is here. This is the price, 1915.06, 1915.06, and that was at that particular time. And this beloved community member just decided to sell it at 2315.07, 2315.07. This is the sell. And that occurred within a very short period of time. We're not necessarily after turning over trades in this short amount of time, but what I'm trying to tell you, there are always opportunities in the market. So how does this actually play out? You can see this 1514, 81, 2460, 1514, 81, 2460. And what about this 1829, 36, 83, 14? 1829, 36, 83, 14. You can see I'm a very, very precise person because you need to be. What this particular person managed to do was to get a gain of $314.56, which is a return on investment of 20.76%. But that actually happened from the 28th to the 29th, just in a really short amount of time. And that particular return on investment is absolutely crazy. You couldn't even read all of these zeros, and we're not even going to try to. What it actually does show you is a lot of people want to make 1,000% gains, 100% gains, 2, 3, 5, 700%. And if you just can turn over a small percentage gain, and this is just quite recent, it's always possible to do so in the crypto market, but we must have the knowledge. And I'd like to do a shout out to Samuel, who in TG38, which is the finish of the masterclass, he said, "Ken, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your knowledge. I've always been the retail investor who rides huge profit all the way back to a loss and then tries to sell at break even. So many people go through this. This is why I wanted to share this with you, because if you find that you're doing what Samuel did, there is a better way, but you do need the knowledge. I now have the knowledge to take profits all the time. Made my investment on the class back 8 times so far in real cashed out gains in about a week. You're awesome." No, Samuel, you're awesome. That's fantastic. If you're feeling that you're driving on the emotional roller coaster or riding it, please get out of there. That's zone 1 and zone 2. You want to get into zone 3 and absolutely preferably zone 4. Zone 3 and zone 4, don't go through all of this stuff. The anxiety, the panic, the capitulation, the optimism, the hope. We don't do that. We've got specific rules that we apply. For example, the 10% per week rule, 10-5-10, BORSOG, and so many others. Staying on the right side of the percentage is really important. We actually accumulate losses. We buy at a loss. We're immune to losses. They don't fake us out because we understand how the market works. We always want to get on the right side of the percentage. That's why many people will talk about a bull market and a bear market. I believe this is just science fiction. There's only one kind of market, which is a BORSOG market. Buy on red, sell on green. This actually makes the percentages move in your direction. But please understand, to make these percentages returns, you need the knowledge, you need the rules. In the stock market, it's all about patterns. In the crypto market, it is all about rules. You need patience as well. You need to understand that sometimes the market will not do what you will it to do. It just doesn't pay any attention. You can think about the market as a rambunctious 2-year-old with teething. That's what the market is. The market's crazy most of the time, but we still love it. In those times where price goes down and things go against you, having the real wealth, positive excellence life trend mindset is incredibly important. You'll maintain your composure, and that's what it's all about. And don't forget, buying on red is key. You always want to be BORSOGing, buying on red, selling on green. And here's BORSOG, the price eagle. He screeches when the price goes red, and the redder, the better. Returning to Bitcoin, we can see we're still making a series of higher lows. This is a low, this is a low, but this one is higher. That one is higher. That one is also higher. And what smart money tries to do, especially institutional traders, but they always try to violate the technical. Technical violations are really, really common, and you need to be aware of the games that big institutions play with retail investors and traders. They want to terrify them out of the position because they want to buy what they're selling. All the way down here, the institutions were accumulating and buying, and it's the same right here. They're buying. Why are they buying? Aren't they crazy? Don't they listen to all those YouTube influencers with the skull and crossbones and the wide open jaws and heads exploding and swearing? No, they don't. They don't care about those people at all. Literally, they don't care. What they look at is they run the numbers. They look for the signal and they say, okay, when we think about Fidelity's plan to introduce the pension fund industry into crypto, that's a multi-trillion-dollar thing that's going to happen. Of course they're positioning themselves into crypto right now, and they're terrifying retail in the process. Please always ask the question, who is buying from you when you sell? If you sold down here, who is buying from you? If you sell down here, who is buying from you? The answer, you are lovingly being bought by the institutions. They're so sweet, aren't they? And then they push the price in the opposite direction, and by the time you get in, it starts to tank and you get out, and then it pushes up again, and so on and so forth. You can see what can happen. That's why if you BORSOG, you actually protect yourself from the institutions, and that's what we're all about inside our community, is to protect you and to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Please let me know in the comments, have you ever had a situation where you've got absolutely freaked out by the market and sold, only to see that beloved crypto just go on and go up in value? Please let me know. And also, what are you feeling right now? Do you feel it's all over? It's time to pack up and go home. Give this crypto thing a miss. Just hand it over to the institutions. Or do you think something else? I'd really love to hear your words and your concepts. We have a wonderful community and everybody is incredibly supportive, and there's no toxicity inside our community. Let's have a look at the top cryptos. We can see Bitcoin coming down, but we know it's making a higher low. And Ethereum, now we're looking at Bitcoin's gravity, which is this blue line. We can see that Ethereum is following Bitcoin's gravity. As Bitcoin sells off, Ethereum sells off. What about Binance Coin? Is it following the gravity? Yes, it is. It's following the directional correlation. What about XRP? Yes, it's following the directional correlation as well, as is ADA, Cardano. Solana looked really good previously, and I was saying to people, please put your support levels down, your buy levels down, and we can see already some of those have been hit, but many people would have expected Solana to just skyrocket up. You can always buy lower. And don't forget Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. Emotional control is absolutely vital in the crypto market, and what have we seen in Luna? It's also sold off because it's following Bitcoin's gravity. We just have to bear this in mind. Look at AVAX. AVAX was looking really strong around that support line, but we can see we must always lower our buy levels. And what does that mean? Just do spider webs. Basically put your buy orders at a variety of different levels of support down. That is the way to go in the crypto market, because what you see here is what we understand with crypto. It's always negatively biased, which means that the price will go up and down, but it's more likely to go down and then rebound to the up. And these spikes become unmaintainable, so they're absolutely beautiful to lean into. Don't worry about buying the bottom. The only people that look at buying the bottom are Zone 1 and Zone 2. Get out of there as fast as you can. It's far too stressful. You want a beautiful life. That's what crypto is all about. Zone 1 and Zone 2 are the horror zones. It's like living in a horror movie. You want to be in Zone 3 and Zone 4. Let's have a look at some community favorites. We can see NEAR selling down hard. When we see these hard sell downs, they're really exciting for us. I guess we do have emotion. We get excited by red. We love red. Look at Matic. We're getting really excited on Matic as well. Icon is very exciting too. Veracity, also exciting. Rose is exciting. The whole market is exciting for us. I guess what we do is that we inverse the emotional state. We basically say, when you actually look at the market, if you're getting excited when everything is going green, you're probably not thinking about it too correctly, because these big greens are actually all about people, institutions, and smart money actually selling into those and just trying to grab as many retail people as possible on that journey. But you know the 4 zones. We all go around those zones. When you see this downward price action, this is absolutely the best time to get in, but it's the time where 99% of people will not be even thinking about it. And what do we actually see? This is all about Bitcoin's gravity, pulling the entire crypto market down with it. Rune is going down, IOTA is going down, Doge is going down. And when we look at the metaverse, they're also being hard hit because Bitcoin is being hard hit. So we can see Sand coming down, Axie coming down, Decentraland, Mana coming down, Gala coming down, Engine. Ape is the different one. That is also obeying Bitcoin's directional bias, but you can see the variation from the gravity. Just bear this in mind. This will get snapped back at some stage, and we've already seen signs of weakening in Ape, but it may have a little bit of time to run yet. So just be careful if you're getting in. Just have your risk management strategies. Have your three-way strategy in play. Say to yourself, I know what I'm going to do. For example, if you wanted to get in Ape, what would you do if it just plummeted back to $11? What would you do if it doubled to 30? Oh, not doubled to 40. What would you do then? Or if it just went flatline, what would you do? These are the things that are really, really important. You have to do that before you place any trade. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. If you wanted to invest in Ape, is this the right time to do it? Please let me know in the comments what you think, what your opinions are. Let's have a look at Chiliz, just following Bitcoin's gravity on the way down, and SLP doing the same thing. If we look at some more community favorites, we can see Theta token is selling off in line with what is happening with Bitcoin at the moment. T-Fuel is doing the same thing. IOTEX doing the same thing. EGLD, Elron doing the same thing. Phantom getting hit hard, but doing the same thing as Bitcoin. Also, CHR doing the same thing. Loopring doing the same thing. Have a look at Cosmos. I just put this over a little bit because I wanted to show you something interesting. When you see a pattern like this, and if you were to buy around here, you would say, oh, this looks pretty good from a technical perspective. But we know crypto is highly emotional and exponential. Let's see actually what happened. This is why I always say you can always buy lower. And this is why I always say, please do not buy at market. Don't FOMO in. Don't feel like you're going to miss out. Look at this. This is just a primary indication of how crypto actually plays out in practice. I want to give you a bit of a perspective. From this point here to down to this point here, Atom, Cosmos, came down 51.97%. This is quite common for cryptos to do this. And then it rallied up. Oh, that's not much of a rally, you say, Ken? That's only 62% on. Oh, hang on, what happened? 52% down and 62% up, and it didn't even come close to making it back to the top. Wow, that's weird. This is actually the thing that happens with percentages. What you will see, if it actually retained, it came back to its original position here, it would have increased 108%. It didn't do that. It only went up 62%. But just see what is actually happening here. Even a 52% reduction had a 62% increase. Then what happened next? It came down 25.74%, and then it came up 29%. You can see if you can actually time your buying on red, you're going to do very, very well. Now, what's happened now? It's come down 48.21%. Where could it go from here? Even if it came back to this strong level of resistance through here, that would come up nearly 60%. This is really important to bear in mind. This is what we talk about on being on the right side of the percentage and BORSOGing. BORSOG is all about being on the right side of the percentage. Don't worry about being on the right side of the trade. That's unimportant. Be on the right side of the percentage. It's a completely different thing. When you move into Zone 3 and especially Zone 4, you'll understand Rule 29 really, really well. Paper losses are fake, but they feel real, but they're actually fake. And if you actually approach the market from a percentage basis and you say, I'm buying on red, not only can you tolerate losses, you look forward to them. It's probably pretty easy to figure out why only a small percentage of people can be profitable in markets across the world, because they have to have this concept of counterintuitive psychology when it comes to the market. And if you're feeling bad about what's happening at the moment, of course, my love and thoughts are with you. It's really hard to see your portfolio come down, and that's just what's happening at the moment. But accepting what has passed is being kind to yourself. You must always be kind to yourself. And how do you be kind to yourself? You just forgive yourself. You do the best you can with the knowledge that you have. If you have more knowledge, you will do better. If you have less knowledge, you will do worse. But the concept is always keep on learning, and the way to learn is through forgiveness. Just forgive yourself. You say, I did my best, now I need to learn. Forgiveness is the doorway to learning. And a beautiful thing to always keep in mind is life resets daily. If you just understand that life is a beautiful experience, we're here for only a short time, even though many years may pass. The idea that you always want to keep in your mind is to have gratitude and be grateful for the fact that you're here. And that's a really good thing to focus on. And if things haven't gone your way, just know that life resets daily, and there's always opportunities, and there's always the opportunity to be a better person every single day, and that's always worthwhile. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our global KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. You can reach out to an ambassador and get 80% off, but please come through this link in the description. We also have an official CTKS NFT collection. Again, please come through these links. Scammers are everywhere. It's really important to go to a known and trusted source. I also use TradingView for charting. You can get that here by clicking this link. And there are a number of different spot exchanges I recommend. Please do not leverage trade. Crypto is far too volatile. You wipe out your account if you leverage trade. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye.